Hi there. My name is Tasha, and I'm known in the community as Full Twin Tasha. I have a group of twins that I spend a lot of time with, and all of them are ones whose twins have passed away. The reason why this video is being shared with you is because you are a spouse of one of those twins. And I had a group of twins within our community ask for me to create a video to help explain what it is that's happening to them from a twin perspective, but not from your spouse. The reason why I'm qualified to share these insights with you is because my twin actually passed away over 40 years ago. I have committed much of my life to understanding what it is that has created the dynamics within me in being a twin whose twin has passed away. And I've put a lot of time and energy into studying the science behind being a twin and why I faced the challenges that I faced once my twin passed, and what are the steps that I took in order to be able to cope better and progress in my life. I was at a gathering with a group of twins, and one of the spouses came to that event. And the information I'm about ready to share with you is the information that I shared at that gathering. As a twin, when we share a womb, we are biochemically wired differently than folks that did not share a womb. Our brains are literally wired differently, and there have been extensive studies around this and how it ultimately impacts the chemistry of the two physical bodies of the twins that are living. Well, what ends up happening when one of the twin passes away, there is this connection, this biochemical connection between those two twins. And it's similar to you have something that's functioning that's plugged into the wall, and it's got that current, it's got that connection, and it functions, and then all of a sudden you unplug it and now that thing doesn't function anymore. Well, when a twin goes through the initial phases of twin loss, it's as if you've unplugged them. So you're looking at your spouse, you've been married for years, you've had this amazing interaction, you may have known their twin, may not have known their twin, but you understood that they were a twin. Twins are super cool. You know, we've got some dynamics about us that are different than folks that aren't twins. And now their twin has passed away and they have literally lost their mind. And you're like, what the heck happened to my spouse? What is going on? The grief when it comes to twin loss is much different than other types of grief because of the biochemical connection and how our brains are wired. So it's not just as simple as, oh, my mom died or my brother died or my spouse died, and all of those things are incredibly challenging, and there's a lot of grief around that as well. I'm not diminishing that. But because of the biochemical and physical attributes of twins and them being together and how their bodies react to each other, to no longer have that twin in the physical, we no longer have that balance that's created when we're around each other. We no longer have the rhythms in our brain waves are literally impacted by the interactions with our twin. How we think. If we're in the same room with our twin, we think differently. We interact differently. We communicate differently. And when that physical presence is no longer there with our twin that we shared our womb with, it's like, whoa, mercy me. Now what? We have literally spent our entire life relying on that other physical being that we shared the womb with to help bring that balance and to help regulate our thoughts, regulate our biochemistry, regulate our stress, our anxiety. When we're together, there's a peace that comes about us that we don't experience in any other relationship, in any other dynamic. And that's not to say that the relationship with the spouse isn't important and in a value. I'm not diminishing that. I'm just saying that when you shared a womb with another being, there is an element around that that we don't initially experience with anyone else. So that's kind of the bad news. Here's the good news. And here's the amazing news for you as a spouse. Because we are wired so differently, once we are able to understand the power of being a twin, we educate ourselves about what I just shared with you. And we give ourselves permission to biochemically sync with another human, with another person that's not our twin. Suddenly, we are able to experience some of that same chemistry, that same balancing, that same de-stress, that same experience we had with our twin. Now, typically, if we are able to interact with another twin whose twin has passed away, shabam! Man, it's like immediate, especially if there's a twin that you really, really resonate with. We can easily connect with other twins. Now, a lot of times when a twin has a twin that's passed away, the last thing they want to do is hang out with other twins, okay? It's painful for them. It's not something that we look forward to because it reminds us that our twin is no longer here. Well, here's the cool thing. There is an entire community of twins whose twins have passed away. And your twin is a part of that community. That's how your twin found out about me. And that's how this whole video request came about, was because we're all talking to each other on our support group. And someone said, hey, Tasha, you've got a great perspective for spouses. You should make a video about that so we can share them with all of our spouses. So our spouses have a little bit of clarity about what it is we're going through. Well, here you go. Now you're watching the video. So welcome. Welcome to a little peek within our community. What I want to share with you is the more you can support your twin, your spouse who is a twin, but that's your twin, right? That's the twin that's in your life, okay? The more you can support that individual, spending time with other twins, collaborating, interacting, hanging out with, hugging, spending time with other twins whose twins have passed away, the more peaceful they will become. If your life is completely chaotic right now and you have no idea what happened to your spouse because they're completely different, that's normal, okay? And the reason why that's normal is because they've never been in this world without their twin. They don't know how to navigate without them. They're not trying to be crazy. It just feels it's kind of crazy making, okay? And so that's normal. However, what you will find is as soon as they're face to face with another twin whose twin has passed away, all of a sudden there's this, it resonates with us. There's this peace that comes about us. Those twins are wired just like we are. Even though we didn't share the womb with that twin, how we are biochemically wired and how our brain waves connect with one another is the same. And it isn't until we get face to face with another twin who's lost their twin that we discover that, okay? Like you literally have to go through this experience of your twin dying, finally getting to the place where you're okay with being around another twin because it feels like you're completely cheating on them, okay? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm totally cheating on my twin, okay? So it's weird. It feels weird. But then you finally do get face to face with someone else who's lost their twin, and all of a sudden you're like, okay. So I'm not the only one that's experienced this. I'm not the only one that has struggled with this. Here's another twin, and oh, shabam! We are syncing with each other, and we can completely relate to each other, and I feel better. This is awesome. What's cool about that is it ultimately brings peace to your marriage, okay? So if you can support that effort, that would be awesome. The other thing is that those twins are learning about how they can take that superpower that they have in connecting, and it doesn't have to be just with their twin or another twin who's lost their twin. We are hardwired. We are able to create that type of synchronization with our spouses. And man, the further we get down the path, the more we experience that, the more peace and strength comes within that marriage. So I want to assure you that your twin is on a path of self-discovery. They are discovering things about themselves. Your spouse that's a twin, whose twin has just passed away. They are discovering things about themselves that they never knew. They never knew. And you're seeing sides of them that you didn't know either. So yes, it changes the dynamics for a bit. But I want to assure you, I want to assure you, the more time that they get around other twins whose twins have passed away, first and foremost, and two, in that quiet space for themselves to learn more about how their body and brain is wired without their twin here in the physical. The more time that they get under their belt with that, and they get to really discover how they've navigated the world in the past and develop some new coping skills that they've never had to have before, but now they do. As they get better at that, they will balance out. There will be elements of them that you saw before will gradually re-emerge. And they will develop the coping skills to be able to handle the dynamics of their life now. And so it does really take a huge amount of patience on a spouse's part, and a lot of encouragement of getting them around other lost twins, getting them, letting them, helping them understand that you understand that they're wired differently, assuring them that you can't relate, and that can be challenging as a spouse because so much of your life is shared. And that's hard for you, but that you understand there's a community out there that can relate. And much like the dynamics with the twin, when the twin was alive, that you're comfortable, you're already used to sharing them in that way, that you're okay sharing them with the support group. And then as they get their new bearings, I think you will be pleasantly surprised at what ultimately emerges in your relationship with your twin that is still very much here and very much in love with you. I hope you found this video of encouragement to you. And for my twins who are out there watching right now, please, by all means, if you have a spouse that's struggling and they just don't know how to support you, feel free to share this video with them. I love you all so very much. I hope you make it a great day.